Hi, everyone. This is Miranda Ward with the Valuable Voices podcast. Thanks for listening today. I have my friend Tammy Gray. I cannot wait for you guys to hear her story. I met her. I'm trying to think because we've been in a lot of coaching programs and mentorship together. Similarities I've definitely attracted to her and her story. I just love learning and I love to see what God's doing. And I think prophetic heart healing is where we really connected. I got to actually meet her and be in sessions with her and see her, just her beauty and just her desire for the Lord. It's been amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to hear what she's got going. Thanks for being here, Tammy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. I know we're in a lot of stuff together and it's been a really nice journey.
Yeah, so I got to sit in. I was so privileged. Tammy let me sit in on a session today that she was doing with a beautiful, handsome, autistic man that is writing. I mean, I can't even, it touched my heart so much, Tammy, and I'm just privileged to even just have sat there. But you now know your purpose, right? I mean, God literally is like, here is what you get to do in your life. And that touched me so much. I cannot imagine. Your heart must be so full daily with what he's doing and what you get to do with him. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. It's been such a journey. I didn't know that this is where I was going to be, actually. I didn't know that I would be in the autistic world and working with nonverbal autistic students. I don't know. Can I share a little bit about how it started?
We were talking earlier. And again, I just love what you shared. So yeah, how did this happen?
I'm a naturopathic doctor by profession. I specialize in emotional and mental health and really helping people find their purpose and feel valued and making sure that those negative voices don't come in and kind of take over our life and we don't feel like we're worthy. And that's one of the things that drew me to your podcast about the voices is so many people don't feel like they can be heard and that they're silenced for who they truly are. Well, that is what I had always done in my practice. And I used to be in the office building where I'm in. I was on the basement floor in the level 100 suites or whatever. And the Lord said, you're going to move upstairs. And I'm like, what? Like, why? It's more expensive up there. And so when I got up there, I just was obedient. And when I got up there, there's nobody on that third floor except one other suite. And so as you come up the stairs, you have to go past my door to get to this other suite that's occupied. Everything else is not occupied on that next level. And one of the reasons is because in this other office, they teach nonverbal autistic students how to communicate with a communication device. So how to use their words physically, writing it either on paper or like taking an alphabet and pointing to letters or like an iPad device. And they teach them how to use this communication device. And I'm like, what? Like, why did you want me here, Lord? Because I don't know anything about autism. And he said, well, it's not always going to be for the students. Sometimes it will be for the parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that really resonated for me because a lot of the parents are overwhelmed with all of the things that they have on their plate on a daily basis. And so my heart for the underdog or the underserved or the ones not being heard, that makes sense. I can help the parents too.
Yes. Yes.
And what he's done the last couple of years in this autistic community, and again, these are nonverbal students. So if they have a verbal voice, it's usually yelling or screaming or, words that are pretty unlegible, unaudible. And he's humbled me every single day in helping me communicate with them to help their emotional health.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I'm an emotion code practitioner. So I help them find emotions that are trapped inside their bodies, and then we help to release them. And just recently in this PHH community, the Lord has really called me into this community to help them connect with the Lord on a deeper level. And what I'm finding is a lot of them are already really connected to the Lord, just nobody has listened to what they had to say about their connection with the Lord. They're seeing angels. And so maybe if they seem distracted to us, they're off looking at an angel somewhere. And us in our neurotypical world thinks they're distracted or thinks they're not paying attention, but they're paying attention more than we are to this spiritual surroundings. Our spiritual realm is so much bigger than our physical realm. So it has been an eye-opening experience for me to be able to connect with these students and listen to what they have to say, and try to communicate that by typing out on these boards.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you say the word humble. I mean, I know we have kids and it's like some days we feel overwhelmed and not prepared. So just sitting on that call today and even just seeing his mom and the patience, I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. And then, yeah, I mean, him typing on there and me getting to hear what he has to say. I mean, you may look at these people and like feel like they don't have anything to say, but they do. And that's so powerful. Like I saw you sit there, Tammy, and just ask him, you know, what do you want to say about that? Or how do you feel about that? You know, and again, you're giving, that's what this is about. You're giving them a voice. I feel like so many of us are shut down, whether it's the voices in our head or people in our life that say like, we're not good enough. That's my story. And just, you're giving them this voice and this platform. And it's just amazing to witness. I just think it's mind blowing that you had no realm of the autistic community at all. And God's like, here you go. Like, I have to imagine that probably felt a little scary and overwhelming at first, right?
And like I was not qualified for it, right? You're forgetting that the Lord qualifies you. We don't qualify us. And I forgot that whole concept for a good 6 months. And I'm sorry about that. That was an emergency call. Sorry. And the Lord qualifies us way more than our heads do, because I was like, Lord, are you sure? I don't have any experience in this. And where he's taken me in the things that I know he's calling me to do has been astronomical acceleration to me. I'm like, 2 years ago, I would never have thought that I would be where I am today in helping these students connect to Jesus, listen to Jesus, and really help them process through their emotions. I never thought that I could do it, but it's not on me, it's on the Lord. And you're right. I didn't have any experience in the community. And now these parents, I remember, can I tell a story real quick?
Yes, please.
One of my students, and he doesn't communicate with the pad very well, but he does point to letters. And so every time his mom comes in, these students are kind of particular with who they communicate with. So as they're learning this RPM method of communication, it's not like it's not that I can just give them a board and they can communicate. They have to have a specific practitioner that teaches them how to do it. And so when mom comes into these sessions, she has specific questions. And so I work with the practitioner in the office next door, and we work together with these students. So I can ask questions that help their emotions, and then she can have them type out on the board. And so he was there and he was telling me, I feel so calm when I'm with you, Dr. Tammy. And mom said, this gentleman's name was Frank. Do you know, Frank, you say that a lot about you feel calm when you come here. Can you tell me why you feel so calm when you come to see her? And he just typed out God. And they're not a saved family.
Wow.
And so that was pretty amazing to his mom. She's like, wow, I think we need to start incorporating Jesus into our life. And that year, this past year was the first year that Frank wanted to change up our Christmas holiday. And his mom said, well, what do you mean change it up? He said, I want to celebrate the reason for the season.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
That's what he typed out. So when the Lord brought this healing modality to my office, this is what he does, right? He does it for so much more than just releasing anger or that pent up aggression that they have.
Yeah, we
He's got
can't
it.
even see it all.
We can't. We
Yeah,
have
that's
no
so funny.
idea.
I made the assumption these were all families that knew the Lord, right? But
Right.
he's placing people in your life where you get to show them who he is. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Wow.
Yes, it's very rewarding. And sometimes, I think we all struggle with, am I really qualified to do this? Like we just talked about, or am I enough? Or do I have what it takes? Is this really doing anything? They can't communicate with me. They can't tell me, oh, this is great, Tammy, I mean, they can, but they most of the time don't. And sometimes when we get down and second guessing ourselves or what we have the ability to do, the Lord brings just that perfect moment in where one of the students expresses their gratitude for the things that you can do in their life and the healing that you can bring. And it completely humbles me every single time. And every time I think that I'm not enough,
Yeah.
he assures me that I am. And
That is
he's using these kids to do it.
Yeah,
These students to
that
do it.
is just beautiful. Well, your heart is so apparent. And again, I just got to witness an hour of a call and I'm just like, oh my gosh, just to see God move, what you're doing. It's mind blowing. Again, like it's like the more intentional you are to spend time with him and to see his goodness and focus on him and gratitude for what he's doing. I mean, I love that saying, like we keep saying it, but God qualifies the called, right? You're not qualified, and I just feel like people listening right now, first of all, obviously we're going to get you connected to Tammy in a second here. So if you need to reach out or maybe a family, I mean, what she is doing is powerful. So I want to get you connected with Tammy, but also even just for a mom or somebody that's listening, this is just kind of who I am, right? Like we feel like we have this call, we want to do something, we want to start a business or we want to write a book and all these things, and we don't feel qualified. It's like, you know what? When you just kind of lay it all down and just trust him, like you trusted him, right? He said, do this. And you said, okay, but I don't understand why, but I'm going to do it. Probably because if he showed you all of it at once, you may not, it may be overwhelming, right? So he has to show you like one little step at a time, but it's just inspiring to hear your story. Your yes, Tammy, your yes is like changing lives. And I know that this is just a couple of months, at least for prophetic heart healing. So what God has in store for you, I cannot even imagine. Again, we were just brainstorming about other possibilities. It's just so fun to be connected to amazing women like you, and just you're inspiring me. And I know that people listening are going to be like, wow, I should write that book, or I should do what God tells me, because you have to in obedience, right? Sorry, I'm talking a lot because I want to hear more from you. So tell people how people can get connected to you, your
Thank you
website
so
and
much.
all that.
Your words bless me so much, Miranda. Thank you so much for that. And so the name of my business is Naturally Renew You. It's RENEW and then the letter U. So it's naturallyrenewyou.com.
Yep.
And I've got the Inner Healing Prayer Ministry on there for the PHH. And then I also have Emotion Code on there. I do both of those things with not just my nonverbal autistic students, but with all of my clients. I do those.
Okay.
But I do have a special that people can enter, a special code for the autistic community, because we never know how long a session is going to last with an autistic student. So I never want somebody to feel like they have to, pay full price for a session when it might not go. So I always give $60 off of the sessions for autistic students. And at the time that you're on the website, if you're scheduling a session, I can always change it after the fact. Don't worry about it. But if you enter the word autism at checkout, you can get that $60 off. So that takes 60% off of this session.
Awesome.
Because autistic students are very, every day is different, and you never know if they're going to be able to, the capacity that they'll have that day. So I wanted to offer that to people.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I know you've been working with the gentleman we had on today. Talk about just the growth. If someone's like, I don't know, I could just hear somebody, like with my own kids, I'm like, I don't know, do I want to invest the time? Do I want to invest the money? What if they don't sit through it? What if this, like, maybe talk us through just an example, if it's not who we talked about today, somebody, and just the growth you've seen.
Mm. Yeah, all of that you just said can happen, right? Especially with autistic students. I think parents are very overwhelmed in just trying to find options for their students, for their kids. And then trying to find somebody that you can trust with the heart of your children is really difficult. So I know I don't just bring my children to any practice. I just don't.
Yeah.
I need to know something about them. So on the website, you actually have an option to do like a free half hour, just where I can talk to the parent and they can get
Oh,
to know me a little bit too. And
good.
that's just a free 15 to 30 minutes of seeing if our personalities click. And that's important, I think, for parents as they're talking about letting their child be in a session. The growth that I've seen with some of my autistic students, I usually give them a choice because I don't know how often people are giving them a choice
Yes.
for their
Yeah.
next appointment.
Yeah.
And when I started doing PHH, or this inner healing prayer ministry with Gavin, this one that's very fluent on this iPad that you were in the call today
Yeah.
with Gavin, I gave him the choice. I'm like, all right, Gavin, you know that this is something that we're just trying with you. What do you think? He typed out, this was amazing. Can we do it again? And I said, sure. Do you think we should do it like once a month? He said, could we do it every week?
Wow.
And I said, okay, that's up to your mom's schedule. And she says, if Gavin wants to do it every week, then we do it every week because Gavin really knows what he needs for his body. I said, okay. Same with Frank, who doesn't communicate as well as Gavin with the iPad, but he knows it all. And so sometimes he'll just give you a thumbs up, or sometimes he'll type just a type of Y for a yes or N for no. And I see him in person every other week, but then he said, I would like to see you every week. And so we put on the schedule the opposite weeks that we saw in person. Now we do Zoom calls and we do the same thing. And so the growth that even Gavin had typed out a couple of weeks ago even, and it's only been like maybe a couple of months that I've been seeing Gavin with this particular prayer ministry.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen him for a couple of years, but just this prayer ministry, a couple of months. And he was using his words a lot more. And I'm like, Gavin, this is awesome. Like you're using your words and I'm really proud of you. And he said, I see difference in my verbal language since we've been talking, since we've been praying together or something like that. And I thought, wow.
For
Another
him to see
testimony
that
of the Lord.
too.
For him to notice it. Yeah. And how he can speak more audibly, verbally, with his words, and the normal person might not be able to understand what he's saying, but his mom does. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, you're saying, crocodile or something. And
Yeah.
she knew what he was saying. And he made that connection that his words are getting, and that's all the Lord, right? That's just the prayer ministry that's coming through the Holy Spirit.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Again, you guys, if you know anybody that has autism, just consider it. I just know, yes, as a busy mom, overwhelmed, sometimes, I mean, obviously you can just hear Tammy's heart on here, but sometimes they might need to hear from somebody else or connect with somebody that is, especially for me, somebody's connected to the Lord like Tammy and just hears him and just follows her heart and follows God's lead, even in these sessions, and just to bring the Lord into the lives of them. So, well, thank you so much, Tammy, for being on here. I so appreciate you. And again, I can't wait to watch your just journey and growth and the lives that you're changing. It's such a blessing to be connected to you. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you.
All right. Well, God bless you all. If you know anybody else that has a valuable voice, which I believe is everybody, I'd love to hear your story and share your just what God's doing in your life. So bless you all. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.